Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team. And yes, we are live at 7:40 p.m. Who would have known? Who would have known, ladies and gentlemen? We usually do our live streams in the morning part of the day, but today we are talking about something that went down about 3 or 4 or 5 hours ago. Has to do with Sean Murphy Bunting. There's some people out there that are kind of excited, not so much about Sean Murphy Bunting being placed on this list, but it kind of opens up the eyes to the Arizona Cardinals team slash secondary that, hey, we might be seeing these young stars a lot sooner than not. But let me give a shout out here to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Nate, we got Sir Knight, we got Alex, we got Daniel, we got Gustavo, we got Cardinals Opinion, Shadow, Ramon. Appreciate y'all for being here. Everybody, do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button here on your way in. If you're watching this on YouTube, appreciate you for tuning in. If you're watching this on X/Twitter, welcome. Consider shooting us a follow. We are looking into expanding and adding more people onto the channel. And there's a couple other things down the pipeline. If you're not following me on X and Twitter, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Definitely more details to come, TBD on that. But ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be talking about the breaking news that ended up dropping a little earlier today. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, cue the bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go and talk about it here. Ian Rappaport ended up dropping this gem on the Arizona Cardinals fans. And of course, it got us to the idea of talking about what can potentially happen in the 2025 season. We got Ian Rappaport coming out and saying this: the Arizona Cardinals have placed cornerback Sean Murphy Bunting on the on the reserve slash non-football injury list, ending his 2025 season before it began. Wow. Absolutely crazy, crazy news. It's okay. Well, let me take it back. It's not crazy because, oh man, like this is the best cornerback the Arizona Cardinals had ever. No, it's not like that. But this is a veteran that I truly did think that the Arizona Cardinals were going to be bringing back into the 2025 season. We had him signed up until 2026, but there was no guaranteed salary there, right? So there wasn't really any rumors. There really wasn't anything kind of that I heard of about maybe contract negotiate. I don't know. I don't know where it stands, but the Cardinals putting him on this list means that he's no longer going to be an option for the Cardinals here in 2025. Now, what's going to happen here, right? Because there's no guaranteed salary on his contract per over the cap. Are the Cardinals going to release him a little later on? I mean, that could very well be a real possibility for the Arizona Cardinals, which opens up some room for what can be, right? What can be for the Cardinals' young core. Now, if you guys do not know, if you don't, or you don't follow this team very, very closely, the Cardinals have done their due diligence. They've been bringing in a lot of young, talented guys from college, whether it was last year and this year. And now it's probably time for them to shine. But here's the big question out there, right? Who's going to be taking the role of Sean Murphy Bunting? And I want to be clear, right? I want to be very, very clear. I like Sean Murphy Bunting. I really did. Some people kind of really treated Sean Murphy Bunting like he was Marco Wilson. Not at all, guys. Sean Murphy Bunting was not Marco Wilson at all. Like he was a solid, a solid player for us. He wasn't bad. He wasn't horrendous. Let me just say that. He wasn't horrendous. He was a solid cornerback for the Cardinals. And there was a specific game that he had like what, two turnovers, and I believe there were forced fumbles, or he recovered a fumble, if I can remember correctly. He did decent, right? But I don't think expectations really kind of met what the Cardinals truly wanted when they brought him in as the veteran. They were really expecting what he did in Tampa, especially in that Super Bowl run, to translate here in this young core. It just didn't really work out that way. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, there has been some moments where Sean Murphy Bunting got a little too grabby, got a little too burnt a couple times here and there, but he wasn't to the level of bad as Marco Wilson was. But yes, now Sean Murphy Bunting is finding his way on this non-football injury list and is ending his 2025 season per Ian Rappaport. So now that brings us to the question that we have here, right? Who's going to be the next guy that's going to be stepping into the role for the Arizona Cardinals? Because like I said, the Cardinals have done their due diligence. They absolutely have done their due diligence this last couple years in terms of setting a potential of what can be, right? Now, I don't know if the Cardinals had planned to do this for, months or a year from now. I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm not Monty Austin for it. I don't have anybody in the front office. All I can do is speculate, right? Sean Bunting was signed in 2024 on a 3-year deal. His guaranteed salary does stop per over the cap on 2025. So we had him sign until 2026. No, I apologize. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. He signed a 3-year deal in 2024. He did have guaranteed salary. So I apologize. I said he didn't have guaranteed salary. That's incorrect. I'm sorry. I actually misspoke on that. He actually does have guaranteed salary in 2025, and that's $7.6 million in guaranteed salary. Now, being on this list, I did hear a rumor out there that the Cardinals probably don't have to pay him. I don't know how much validity there is to that, but if that's the case, the Cardinals can very well save some money, right? Because even using this over the cap tool, if they do cut him post June 1st, there's going to be dead money of 9.96 per over the cap, but there will be a little bit of cap savings. Now, like I said, there's nothing to be said about, you know, him being on this list. So this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting to see what the Arizona Cardinals decide to do. So yes, I misspoke a little earlier. Yes, he does have guaranteed salary in 2025 per over the cap. I was looking at the 2026 line and I was absolutely incorrect. He does have guaranteed salary in 2025, $7.6 million. And in 2026, he didn't have any guaranteed salary. So I'm not sure if there was a renegotiation or the Cardinals just said, hey, we got enough people. I think we're going to be fine. That might be the case. Now, let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals depth, shall we? Like I said before, Monty Austin in this regime has done a very good job to make sure that they had everything in place in case this was going to be a situation down the future, right? Who are going to be the guys that are going to be stepping in the role, right? That's going to be the big question here. Who do we have? The Cardinals drafted Will Johnson in the second round this year. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm so freaking excited about Will Johnson. I am so freaking excited about Will Johnson. Making this move right here, this probably does feel like Will Johnson's probably going to start. And the Cardinals have they have the faith in him that he's going to be a really good cornerback in the NFL. I mean, he was arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Like, let's be real. He was arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the college level this last year. I'm not used to streaming on nighttime, so I'm a little loopy. I apologize for misspoking or speaking multiple different times, but Will Johnson was drafted in the second round this year. The Cardinals also did get 2 cornerbacks last year, getting Max Melton in the second round out of Rutgers, as well as Elijah Jones out of Boston College. So a lot of young, talented guys. Now, we also do got Starling Thomas V, which I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Starling Thomas V. I think he actually has done pretty darn well for the opportunity that he was given. And also this year, Denzel Burke out of Ohio State. Yeah, Denzel Burke out of Ohio State. So we got some players. We got some players. And that's not even to mention Keitrell Clark. Keitrell Clark might be a real option as well for special teams or maybe keeping him in as a cornerback. I'm not going to say he's a starter, but Keitrell Clark had some things here and there, some little flashes, but we got some depth. We got some mad depth. Now, I'm not adding Garrett Williams. We know Garrett Williams is probably going to maybe stay your nickel cornerback, maybe the slot. Maybe he does expand into the outside. We don't know, but we're just going to keep Garrett Williams as right now my favorite cornerback and probably our best cornerback on this roster right now of what he's proven. He's up there, right? He's definitely top tier, but I'm talking about the outside guys, right? Garrett Williams, obviously your nickel guy, slot guy, but the guys on the outside, who's going to be the next men up? Is it going to be Will Johnson? Maybe. There's a real possibility that he can definitely very well get thrown into the fire and say, okay, learn on the job. Or Max Melton. I mean, Max Melton didn't really give us a exciting, oh my god, rookie year, but he had some couple things here and there. I'm not going to say he's dog. I think he was decent. I think it was decent. Now, obviously, from year 1 to year 2, we're going to really start seeing what he can actually be. So Max Melton can definitely very well be an option for the Arizona Cardinals as well. Let me give a shout out here to my guy, Cardinals Opinion, with the super chat. Appreciate you, man.
Another one.
He says this, have you heard Cardinals' new song, 18 Bars, on YouTube? Yes. I think every Cardinal fan out there has heard yes. Everybody's heard this. I think this song's called One of One, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it called 18 Bars? It might be. Yeah. Yes. Mac Wilson Sr., aka was it Rocket Ship? Yes. Oh yeah. I heard it. Yep. Everybody and their mothers heard it, and I know the social media team has done their due diligence to make sure that everybody and their mother heard the song. They did a good job. They did. In terms of the teams that announced uh, their schedule, the Cardinals are definitely up there in terms of creativity and the way they did it. It was actually pretty darn flat out amazing. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not my type of music, but still, I can respect somebody who has talent, and I do love Mac Wilson Sr. So, um, yeah, great job. Yes, I have heard the song. I have. But yes, let's continue to talk about who's the next man up, right? Who's the next man up? Will Johnson, Max Melton, right now are probably my number 1 and 2 guys. Now, like I said before, I have a very hard time getting rid of the thought that Starling Thomas V is not going to at least fight for a position. Starling Thomas V has done a pretty darn good job. He has. One forced fumble this last year, 6 passes defended, right? 31 solo tackles. I mean, he's done solid. For a waiver wire claim, I really do like Starling Thomas V. I really do. But I think that the Cardinals are probably going to go with the young core. I really do. Will Johnson, Max Melton, like, I don't see a world where Denzel Burke beats out Starling, but I could be wrong, right? I can be wrong. And like a lot of us don't really even give very much love to Elijah Jones. Like, who forgot about Elijah Jones? Let me know in the chat. Like, I always kind of seem to always kind of forget, but Elijah Jones was a 3rd round pick. He was one of the 4 3rd round picks that we had last year. Elijah Jones was a 3rd round pick for the Cardinals out of Boston College, and they really, really liked him. They did. So that's another option as well. So when you're looking at this move for the Cardinals, right? And like I said, there's not really much details in Ian Rappaport's tweet, right? When he ended up coming out with, what he ended up telling us, which the tweet is going to be back here again. This is a tweet that we ended up seeing about 3 or 4 hours ago. There's not really much detail as to why, right? Because this is a non-football injury list, right? The reserve slash non-football injury list ending his 2025 season before he begins. We don't know. We don't know what happens, right? We don't know what happened. So maybe the Cardinals are just gonna, more than confident to go in a completely different direction. And the young guys are gonna start shining now. They're gonna start shining now. Jake, what's up, Jake? He says Max was locking down wide receivers, I'm assuming you're saying. I mean, he did decent. He did solid. He did solid. Robert in the chat says Johnson and Melton. I would love to see our 2 second-round picks taking a big, big leap. Absolutely. Absolutely. Prestige in the chat says, we definitely did not need Sean Murphy Bunting. Bro, we got Max Melton, Will Johnson, Garrett Williams. Bro, they're young, and they're all going to be dogs. Imagine. That core right there sounds nasty to me. I ain't going to lie to you. Max Melton, if he's going to come into his own. Will Johnson with all the hype, as long as his knee can stay healthy. And then you got Garrett Williams in the nickel. Man, we got some absolute dogs. And that's not even that. We got some dogs. Now, here's the next question, right? Because, of course, we got to talk about this, right? Do I believe the Cardinals are going to go outside the organization to fill in the need of a Sean Murphy Bunting? I don't think so. I really don't. But we got to talk about it, right? Because, believe it or not, when I made my short video, when I initially released the breaking news that Ian Rappaport ended up dropping, the fact that the Cardinals are putting him on this list, right? There were some comments out there. And even on social media, there's people out there saying, well, maybe the Cardinals can now go after Asante Samuel Jr., right? And I saw another comment out there that said, oh, well, maybe the Arizona Cardinals can go after Jalen Ramsey now. I don't, like, I'm going to be real. I think let's put a pin on that. Let's put a pin on that. I wouldn't be mad if that's what the Arizona Cardinals decided to do, right? But Asante Samuel, still right now, as we're recording this or currently doing this live stream on May 22nd, he's still available as a free agent. Why? Why, you ask? Because injury concerns. there's a lot of medical stuff that's going on with Asante. And I don't know if teams are willing to jump, but he's probably one of the best cornerbacks that are available right now in the open market. But there's 31 other teams that are not making this move either, right? There's 31 other teams that are not making this move. So what does this tell you? I mean, the Cardinals met with them. We worked them out. If the Cardinals truly believed that he was going to be a Cardinal, they probably would have wrapped him up right there and then, unless they heard something about medical issues that they're like, oh, okay, let's stay a little away from that, right? So, like I said, I'm not mad at this Dante Samuel thing. I just don't think it's going to happen. Now, Jalen Ramsey, on the other hand, I made a video about 3, 4 weeks ago, where I believe it was in April, if not early May, saying I want no business with Jalen Ramsey, right? And right now, still, even after the Sean Murphy Bunting move that was made, I still want nothing to do with Jalen Ramsey. I'm going to be real. I don't want to give up draft capital for a guy that at one point was a very, very good lockdown corner. I'm ready to see these young guys. I'm truly, truly ready to see these young guys and what they can do. Because if you add a veteran like an Asante, if you add a veteran like a, let's say, for example, a Jalen Ramsey, which, like I said, if it happens, okay, cool. I'll celebrate with you guys. I just don't think it's going to happen, right? So there's no point in talking about it. The only reason why I'm mentioning it is because people are now kind of starting to chatter about maybe, just maybe the Cardinals can do this after a move like this. I don't know. I think this move was made, and I'm talking about the Sean Murphy Bunting move, was because I think the Cardinals are ready to see what these young core can do. Because we're not just talking about Will Johnson, Garrett Williams, and Max Melton. We're also talking about Keitrell Clark, Denzel Burke. We're also talking about Elijah Jones, Starling Thomas V. We're talking about 4 other guys outside the 3 guys that we're probably comfortable with heading into 2025. We got a grip. We got so much depth in this young core that there could be some real good potential. And guess what? Guess what? Our defensive line has absolutely upgraded 180 degrees, facelift. Everything that you can do to a face, that's what the Arizona Cardinals did to their defensive line this year. Absolutely upgraded it. So guess what? That's only going to help out your cornerbacks in the back and your safeties in the back as well. Heck, your whole entire secondary. So to the question out there is, will the Arizona Cardinals bring in a veteran? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we need to. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals need to waste unnecessary money on a cornerbacks when we got what we got on this roster, right? Yeah, use that money to allocate to maybe a different position. You know what position I want to bring in, but as of right now, that's up to Monty Awesome for. So, will the Cardinals do this? I don't think so. Right? Will they go after Jalen Ramsey? I don't think so. I think Jalen Ramsey is going to be a Ram. Unfortunately, I think he's going to reunite back with the Rams, and it's not because I'm scared of Jalen Ramsey. It's just that obviously the Rams are going for another Super Bowl run with Matthew Stafford, and you kind of hate to see moves that make them better in their team, right? You hate to see your division get better. I just want to put it that way. So for the Cardinals, I think we're good right now with where we're at. I love our young cornerbacks. So going back to what we were originally talking about, who's up? Well, I think we all have the same thought process, right? Will Johnson, Max Melton, Garrett Williams. If not Will Johnson, if they want to ease Will Johnson in, I can see a real world that the Cardinals maybe even start Garrett Williams in the slot, Starling Thomas the fifth on the outside, and Max Melton on the outside. I can see that too. I'm talking about maybe for the first game. Unless Will Johnson has a crazy training camp. If Will Johnson has a crazy training camp, then maybe he might take that outside position, right? Maybe. But what I would love to see is obviously Will Johnson, Melton, and Williams. That would be my ideal dream of what I would love to see the Arizona Cardinals do. But yeah, for the people out there that are just chiming in, if you did not know, Sean Murphy Bunting was placed on the reserve slash non-football injury list ending his 2025 season before it began. Per Ian Rappaport, news came out about 3, 4, 5 hours ago. And right now, a lot of Cardinal fans, I guess I wouldn't say are confused, but there's a little bit of an excitement in the air, right? To me, I'm a type of Cardinal fan that I would say, thank you, Sean Murphy Bunting. Appreciate for everything that you did. But I think it made sense that it was time for this to happen, right? Now, last week, I didn't think this was going to happen. But I'll give it to some people that are on my chat. because some people in my chat told me that the Cardinals are going to get rid of Sean Murphy. And I was like, I don't know about it, guys. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Sean Murphy Bunting is at least going to be a depth player next year. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Nope. No longer going to be playing in the 2025 season. We do got him signed until 2026. There is not guaranteed salary next year. So it's going to be very, very fascinating to see how it actually works out here for the Arizona Cardinals. But like I said, I mean, I'm confident in who we have. I'm confident in who we have right now. Let's keep it with the chat. GTO in the chat says, upgrade the quarterback. Yeesh. You got to give it. You got to give it to the AZ sports fan community, man. They keep it real. They keep it as real as it potentially can be. But yeah, God bless you guys, man. I appreciate you guys for being in the chat. My guy GT Greg says upgrade the quarterback. Well, I mean, we upgraded the quarterback too. I mean, for what it's worth, that probably doesn't mean a lot for a lot of people, but I do have the confidence that if there is a sense where our current quarterback gets maybe, needs a week or two off because of him running a lot more, I do have confidence that Jacoby Brissett can come in and probably win us a game or two if needed. So for what it's worth, we upgraded quarterback 2, right? So I guess we'll give you we'll take the wins where we can get them. We'll take the wins where we can get them. Let's keep it with the chat. You guys are coming in clutch. Appreciate you guys for being here. We got Fidel in the chat saying, leave the cornerback room alone and upgrade receiver. Ding, 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 ding. This is what I was talking about a little earlier. For the people out there that want Asante or want Jalen Ramsey, let's allocate that money to a position that I think that we need more in. And just like my guy Fidel here says, use it for a wide receiver. Ding, 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 ding. David with another one.
Another one.
Says this, defense is good. Upgrade offense. Get another wide receiver. Hey, you ain't lying. You ain't lying, ladies and gentlemen. From your lips to the football god's ears, and hopefully to Monty Austinfort's ears, because I truly do believe that the Cardinals can very well use another wide receiver myself as well. But it's going to be one of those things where obviously it's not up to us as an organization. To me, I would love the excuses to stop after this year, especially if it doesn't work out the way that we all want it to work out. But, like I said, it's going to be up to Monty Austinfort. But I 110% agree with you, David, and Vidal as well, that we should at least be considering and looking the way of wide receiver, especially with making a move like this, because you do open up some money, right? Because like I said before, I did see somewhere, and forgive me, I forgot where I read it. I believe it was from the Athletic, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the Cardinals do save money from putting them on this list because it's not like the Cardinals are just releasing them outright, right? That's the weird thing in this whole situation. It's not like Sean Murphy Bunting had some sort of injury, because he didn't. He didn't have an injury. He's on the non-football injury list, ending his season on the reserve/non-football injury list. So I heard somewhere out there that the Cardinals can save some money by doing this. Although he's under contract for 2 more years, 1 more guaranteed in 2025. I mean, we open up some more money. Let's go, right? I guess that's what we could say here at this point. I mean, we'll see. Shadow says, I think we need to protect Kyler better. I mean, well, right now, there's not a lot of offensive linemen that you're going to get off the street, or not off the street, but there's not a lot of offensive linemen that you can go after. I mean, well, actually, let me take it back. Will Hernandez is still out there, right? If the Cardinals do decide to go after Will Hernandez and bring him back, everybody and their mother will be excited about a move like that for the Arizona Cardinals. Everybody will, right? I mean, we're opening up money for something, unless it's for nothing. I mean, that could also be a very well possibility. But yeah, I mean, you want to upgrade that line? Will Hernandez, yeah, did pretty solid for the Arizona Cardinals when given the opportunity, and he could stay healthy. Maybe the Cardinals do bring him in on a 1-year deal. I don't know. But yeah, I'm cool with allocating the money somewhere on the offensive side of the ball. I'm right there with you. I think a lot of us have the same thought process when it comes down to this. 110% agree with you. I think the Cardinals probably, if the money is true and they truly do save money from putting Sean Murphy Bunting on this list, Let's allocate that money to the offensive side of the ball, whether it's the O-line or wide receiver, right? Right? Tony in the chat says Brandon Sharf. Yeah, look at you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's still out there too. Veteran, guard. Yeah, true. Good call out. GTO in the chat says Calais is back to lead the young guys. Quarterback won't be standing in the pocket no more. Our defense is going to rock. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Like I said before, the current state of the Arizona Cardinals defensive line has absolutely been facelifted. Absolutely been facelifted, and it's not even funny. This will help our cornerbacks in our secondary in general. You got Calais Campbell. You got Dalvin Tomlinson. Josh Sweat. Second year Darius Robinson. Dante Stills, which at one point was the sack leader of the Arizona Cardinals at like 4 or 4.5 sacks. And the reason I laugh is because it's crazy to hear that he was at one point our sack leader in the end part of the season. But Dante Stills going to his year 3 now? I mean, we got some young guys, right? We got some young guys. Walter Nolan that we just drafted this year. B.J. Ojulari hopefully can stay healthy. Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols. Some people think that we might release one of them. Cool. I mean, maybe open to more money. That's cool. Zaven Collins probably going to stay on the defensive line. I know there's some people out there saying, "Oh, Zaven Collins should go back to the middle linebacker." I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to keep Zaven Collins as a rotational piece. I really do. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. This is going to be exciting. This is an exciting time here for our young cornerbacks. Hearing news like this, because that just means it opens up more opportunities for you to actually get in to a starting role in week 1. Absolutely. Jake in the chat says these other teams about to get. I'm assuming you're saying torched. I'm assuming you mean torched. I hope you mean torched, Jake. No, but yeah. Here's the thing. We will go as far as our quarterback will take us. I'm going to be real here, right? And I know the last video I posted about Kyler Murray, and I think at this point, most people don't want to hear my take from Kyler Murray because there's a lot of Kyler Murray fans out there that get a little offended when it comes down to speaking about their quarterback. I want Kyler Murray to succeed. I truly do. Whether you believe it or you don't, I want Kyler Murray to succeed because if he succeeds, then we succeed, right? As an organization and as in a team. But we're going to go as far as Kyler Murray is going to take us. I just hope that we can fix a few different things. Miscommunication between the wide receiver 1 and quarterback. Not crashing and burning at the second part of the season. And I know the second part of the schedule is not favorable for the Cardinals, but you want to be a playoff team, you got to beat those playoff teams. It's the way it is, right? So those are the two things I would love to see. And some consistencies on this offense as well. So, yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. We're sitting in May right now. We are less than 3 months away. Wow, we're less than 3 months away from preseason football. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. We're less than 3 months away from preseason football. If you're in Arizona, you gotta sweat it out here for a little bit. If you're in Arizona, you just gotta sweat it out for a little bit. Stay indoors. Wet yourself with the hose outside. You'll be fine. You'll make it through. But ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 3 months away from preseason football. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. Let's get this going. Let's read a couple more chats, and we will be closing up shop. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, by the way. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Yeah, thanks for being here. Absolutely. Jameson in the chat. What's up, Jameson? Ojulari better be good for all this hype you're giving him. I agree. I agree. Here's the thing. BJ Ojulari, coming out of college, was good. He was. Absolutely, BJ Ojulari was good. So I don't want to come out here and say, oh man, Mike is just giving him too much credit. No, in 2023, as a rookie, he had 4 sacks. I get it. Not explosive, right? But in college, he was one of the best edge rushers in college. It's just, unfortunately, the injury bug got him, right? Unfortunately, the injury bug got him in 2024, and he was done with the season, right? I was excited about BJ Ojulari. I thought he was going to be a really good pickup for the Cardinals. Unfortunately, like I said before, It's just the injuries has plagued him. But in 2022, 5.5 sacks. In 2021, 7 sacks. In 2020, 4 sacks, right? They're not big buzzer beaters, scream numbers, but as long as he can stay healthy, I think he could be a really good part of our defensive line. But I do agree with you. But I do agree with you. If he doesn't do anything this year, then shame on me for hyping him up. 100%. 100%. B Man in the chat says Marv is going. So Marv is who is soft. No muscle can help him. Yikes. Hey, let's bring the shame bell. It's been a while since we did it. Shame it.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Good Lord. On a night stream, we got my guy coming in here out of the woodwork saying Marvin Harrison Jr. is soft. Well, let's put this into perspective. Marvin Harrison Jr. was a rookie last year, still 22 years old, going to be 23 years old sometime during the regular season. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's putting on muscle to, you know, to help him with those physical one-on-one contested catches. He's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. I don't know if you're a Cardinal fan out there, my guy, or if you didn't want Marvin to begin with, but this is the perfect example of I don't understand why some people are willing to jump on a specific player after 1 year, but those same people cannot see the elephant in the room for multiple years, right? You got to give him a little bit of grace. You got to give him a little bit of grace. Did he not meet the expectations of what Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. and Ladd McConkey did? Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm not coming out here saying that he is the best thing since sliced bread, but he will be. I got the confidence. He'll be good. He'll be good. Joey in the chat saying, laugh a lot of people gonna eat a lot of crow with Marvin Harrison Jr. Y'all need to chill. I agree. Plus, I think McBride is number one. Yeah, I do agree. I think Kyler's confidence level with Trey is right there. I think he's so confident in Trey McBride that it almost does feel like the looks and the progressions almost kind of feels like, unfortunately, Marvin Harrison Jr. might be the second progression, specifically if it's not Marvin Harrison Jr. is your number one progression on that read, right? That is the thing that does hinder, right? Because Malik Neighbors doesn't have a Trey McBride. Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't have a Trey McBride. Ladd McConkey doesn't have a Trey McBride. Kyler Murray is very confident. The connection, the communication between both of them, hopefully that they can get fixed. And I hope that Marv can get 1K, 1,100, 1,200 yards this year. But I do agree. I think a lot of people are going to eat crow for sure. Let's keep a couple more chats, and then we'll be closing up shop. Absolutely appreciate you guys for being here. Do me a huge favor. We had over like 40 or 50 people here on the YouTube side. Smack the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Just smack that like button. Do that huge favor for me. If this is your first time here, subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. But today, what we dived into was the breaking news that dropped about 5-6 hours ago about BJ Ojulari. Wow, I can't speak. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. On this live stream, we ended up talking about the news that dropped 5 or 6 hours ago about Sean Murphy-Bunting being put on the reserve / non-fit football injury list, which per Ian Rappaport, he's done for the 2025 season, which opens up a lot of question marks about who is the next man up. And we talked about it. I don't think it's a big puzzle piece. It's probably going to be Will Johnson, Max Melton, and Garrett Williams as your nickel. If that doesn't happen, then I can definitely very well see another possibility. Starling Thomas V, Max Melton, and probably Garrett Williams as your nickel as well. The only reason why I say Will Johnson maybe kind of waiting a couple games, because, sometimes teams don't like to throw people into the fire, especially rookies that quick. But, at the end of the day, you never know. He might have a crazy training camp. He might earn that starting spot. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out, ladies and gentlemen. But this is going to conclude our live stream today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Smack the like button here on your way out. Subscribe if this is your first time here. We are on the road to 17K. Cannot do it without you guys. All absolutely amazing. Martin in the chat says, are you going to any home games? There is a possibility that maybe the primetime game with the Seahawks could be a real possibility. I have an uncle that might come down from Seattle, that's a Seattle Seahawks fan, unfortunately. That could be a possibility. So right now, things are up in the air. But because this is the job to cover, there's going to be a little bit of grace period before streams. I just got to figure out all the logistics if I do go to a game and let you guys know up front when we're going to be streaming and when we're going to be talking about the games and stuff like that. So got to be doing a better job here coming into 2025 with the season. But expectations are up there, man. Expectations are up there. Absolutely appreciate you guys for tuning in. AZ Jace, what's up, brother? Yeah, absolutely appreciate you, man. It's on the road to 17K. Cannot do it without you guys. So definitely subscribe it up. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will be giving an announcement a little later on about well, I'll tell you guys. I'll fill you guys in later. It's about a post that I ended up posting here on X/Twitter about potential co-hosts. More information on that TBD. But appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your night. You guys are all amazing. Thanks for tuning in on a freaking a random May night. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cardinals.